Welcome to Virtual Paint Night. Turn on some light music and get ready to paint a masterpiece. Special thanks to our three sponsors: USAA, serving the military community and their families for over 98 years. First Command, taking pride in helping clients get financially squared away from the start of their military careers to retirement and beyond. And finally, Randolph Brooks Federal Credit Union.
Alrighty, welcome back guys to our virtual paint nights. This one is gonna be super duper fun. I'm really excited for it. I want to highly encourage you guys to, if you're painting together as a family, to pick different colors. So we're gonna be painting an ostrich. I'm gonna do a blue background. I've got some painters here with me that are gonna do some other bright colored backgrounds. So we're gonna show you our progress as we move along. So first thing, we've done a lot of backgrounds together. When we paint this one, you don't have to go vertically or horizontally with your strokes. You don't have to do a crosshatch. You can paint however you want because this is just a background. So I'm choosing to use teal and blue. If you can see that right there. And I'm just gonna go straight in. So this is my flat brush, my 3/4 flat brush. If you have an inch, that'll work too. And so here I go. I'm just gonna dip my flat brush in the paint and start covering my board. Again, like I said, you do not have to use any type of stroke, vertical or horizontal. I tend to paint vertically, but that's just me. Don't forget to get the sides if you're gonna hang this up on a wall. It just helps it look a lot more finished. Also, and I keep forgetting to bring it, they do sell open frames at Hobby Lobby. So I'll make sure the next video I bring an open frame and show you how easy it is to pop this canvas into a frame. And it just kind of fancies it up a little bit. Okay, now that I have my background all painted blue, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and throw some teal in, but because I chose to do vertical brush strokes, I'm just going to blend it in vertically just to kind of keep that all the same. So I'm dipping in the teal. And then I'm just going to pick some random spots and kind of blend that in. Now, like if you choose, let's say I chose to do a pink background, I might choose purple to throw in with it. If I did a yellow background, I might throw orange in or vice versa. But really, make your background as fun as you want. We're going to put a white ostrich on top of this, so the brighter the background, the better. Alrighty, I'm at a stopping point with my background. It's still very wet, so we're going to go ahead and let it dry. We want it to dry completely before we move on to the next step. So if you want to speed up this process, go ahead and grab a hair dryer and just kind of blow that paint or this canvas dry. I do not have one, so I'm just going to let it air dry and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, see you guys back in a few. All right, guys, so just so you can see, these are 4 different colored backgrounds. You can see mine has vertical stripes. This one, they painted horizontally. This one is vertical and the other one's horizontal. So you can see the different techniques, how it looks. You could even cross hatch it if you wanted, so you'd get a little bit more mixture in there. It'd probably blend a little bit differently, but still look really cool. So yeah, go bright, go crazy with your backgrounds, and then once they're dry, we'll hit the next step. All right, guys, we are dry. I can rub my hands on this. There's no shine to it anymore. So now we're gonna start in on our ostrich. I'm gonna need you guys to put some white and gray paint onto your palette. Got some white and gray right there. And then we're gonna be going in with the number 14 round brush. It's a little bit bigger. And we're just going to start building colors. So first I'm going to give you, we're kind of going to go up and we're going to create not a cross. Let's think of it as like if you were to turn your canvas, you're going to draw an H right here and then a line all the way down. But if that's confusing, just follow me. So first we're going to go up the middle. So dip your, oh, I've got a weird hair. Dip your round brush into the white. And we're going to start at the bottom. So this is going to be the neck. So we're just going to go in the middle, start at the bottom, and draw up. I'm just going to draw a line right there and a line right here. And then where I have the seed, so bear with me, we're going to create like a diamond, this shape right here. And now we're also going to, because I want you guys to kind of see how this is going to come together. We're going to do a big circle here. Big circle right. All right. So now what I want you to do is where this line is, we're going to use our brush and we're just going to kind of draw almost like we're following that circle. So these are going to be ostrich feathers. We're going to go straight up and then curve it to the right, straight up and curve it to the left. So paint on my brush, straight up. These are the eyes. So around the eyes, we're going to kind of create like eyelashes coming up. So think about taking your brush and you're just going to kind of flick it up. So I'm going to go this way and you're just going to kind of create some white little eyelashes. Now we're just going to fill this in. And we're going to go around the bottom side of the eye. We're not, between here and here, we're going to kind of leave this blue or orange or yellow or whatever color your background is. But we're going to flip up some feathers underneath the eye. We've got our eye feathers. Now we're going to take underneath here and we're going to go further out. And you're going to kind of make these go straight out. You're not going to flip them up so much like the under eye. Okay, from here, we're just going to draw a reference line. We want this to make two arches. You want to have the top of your arc up to like M&M arches, or I mean McDonald's arches. Yeah. After you do that, where we did our little diamond, you're just going to follow these lines. You're going to pull up into your diamond. So we're going to place our brush here and pull up, pull in towards your diamond and kind of follow the arch that you created. All right, after you've done that, we're going to take our brush and we're going to follow this line all the way down, and we're going to start in the center and flick out all the way down. Flick out and angle down towards the corners of your canvas. So down and to the right and down and to the my initial flick, I lose too much paint at the end, so then I'm going to go back in and do it the How you guys doing, ladies? Cute and fluffy. We're getting there. Like I said, guys, we're doing a lot of layering with this one, so it will come together, I promise. Now let's... Oh, okay. All right, we ready for another color? Okay, we've got all our white. Now we're gonna go in with some gray. So you do not need to wipe your brush off, rinse it off, because we are blending. So what I want you to do is dip your brush that has not been cleaned, you've still got white on it, into your gray. We're gonna go ahead and create this. So I made my diamond a little bit lower. So I want him to be higher, and I want to elongate it a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is start right here and go out. So I've outlined that diamond that I created. Once you get here, kind of go ahead and round out the top of that diamond so it's not so pointy. And you can fill this. Okay, fill the top in, but leave in the middle. You want to do kind of like a little wave with your paintbrush. So you're going to dip in the middle towards the bottom. So you're going to go up, dip towards that center point, and then go up again. If you can see this brush stroke. And then I also want you to make it a little bit, fill in this gray a little bit down. Okay, after we've done that, we're going to take our brush and we're going to create layers on these feathers. So we're going to start and feather out from the sides of the bottoms of our beaks. So just kind of pull the same motion that you did before with when we went and did his neck. Do some darker feathers come here on his mouth. I also want to run some dark feathers going up on top of his beak. So we're going to lines like that, and then we're going to kind of fill it in a bit. Here. And then we want to put some gray feathers all down in here. So the same thing, we're just going to use the center and we're going to flip out. Okay, I think I also want to throw a little bit of gray just on the outsides of the. All right, at this point, a lot of layering and my canvas is getting a little sticky. Okay. You can throw in a couple of gray feathers up at the top. That's completely up to you. We're going to start peppering in more fun colors into our ostrich. But before we do that, we're going to wipe your brush and then rinse it out. Okay guys, next we're going to put some black onto our palette. We've got black and we're going to be using a size 4 round brush, so we switched brushes. I don't want to go completely black, so we want to just make a darker gray. So the gray that you have sitting, go ahead and pull a little bit of black into that gray and mix it. You don't want complete black, but you want a darker gray. And if it gets too dark, you can pull some white in. We're looking about that color. So here's, whoa, sorry. Here's the white, here's the black, and then our gray. Okay, what we're going to be doing with this dark gray is we're going to go back in to our feathers up here in the nose. We're also going to add a little bit on the side underneath his beak, and then a little bit of some dark gray in there, and then we'll be done with the dark gray. So going in, we have the top of the beak, so we're just going to throw some feathers in there. And I know you tend to get some broken lines. What I like to do with my feathers, if you go up, see how it breaks a little bit. That line right there, it's not solid. If you want them to be solid feathers like up here, what I do is load my paintbrush up, and then as I'm going down, I kind of roll it, and it gives you a crisper line that doesn't have those broken edges. I'm going to kind of follow this beak down. And then I want to throw feathers out. And then I want to go to the bottom of this beak, kind of make the point, and then throw a couple darker. one or two. Gray has a, I'm not sure if it's pulling from the black. I've got a little bit of a brown color in there. We are going to end up making our eyes bigger. So our eyes are going to sit almost right next to the, on top of the beak. And you can be very organic with your feathers. Don't worry about like the placement. We're going to start to throw a lot of colors. All right, after you've gone there, we're going to wipe our brush, rinse it off, and then we're going to dip it into the black. We're going to go into black a couple of times. This will be our first layer of black. Just make sure after you're done using the black that you wipe and rinse your brush very, very well, because you don't want to muddy the other paint colors that we end up throwing. So still the same brush, number 4 round. We're going to go in with the black we already used or put on our palette. You don't need to cover your whole brush. Get the tip of it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to color in this mouth. So I want you to fill in the bottom part of that mouth. I want to put a little bit more dark on the edge of his mouth right here. Feathers, and just kind of define that corner. Now we're going to do the same thing down here, corner, and then I do the same thing right at the base. Very light. So we have our black here, here, and down here. We filled in the mouth. Now I want to go on the top of the beak, and we're going to define that. Couple of feathers. After you do this, I want you to roll most of your black paint off of the brush. So when I say that, go to the edge of your plate and roll it. We don't want to take all the black off completely. We're going to go back into the gray. After you've rolled most of it off, go into the gray. And then we're going to create kind of a circle here on the nose. Going to go in with that gray, and right underneath where your beak would be, right here, we're just like tongue. I want you to use the same dark gray, and we're gonna go and we're gonna create some eyelashes that go all the way to the edge of your white. Over here, we actually are trying some new acrylic paints we ordered on Amazon, and not awesome. So Mine is probably going to look different from yours. They're drying very chunky, and as I'm going into pull with all of the layering, it's pulling it up as well. So it's actually acting more like an oil paint acrylic, but all right, are you guys ready for some fun colors? Go ahead and wipe your brush off and then rinse it out really well. Okay, after you've rinsed your brush, I want you to go ahead and add some colors to your palette. You can add whichever colors you like. I would kind of look at your background and then pick opposite colors. So because I have a blue background, I will put blue in there, but I think I'm gonna use more pinks and yellows, probably some orange. Orange and blue, I think, complement each other very well. They actually are complementary colors. If you use purple, yellow would be a good choice. But go ahead, we're gonna put some rainbow into his face. So I would pick at least 4 or 5 colors to add to your palette. Blue for sure, blue and teal. In both of these. Yellow would be good. Everybody should throw a yellow in there. And you don't need a lot because we're not going to be putting a lot of paint. We're not going to be using a lot of paint. It's just going to be small brush strokes into the feathers. So we're going to add some color and texture into these feathers. Green would be fun. Okay. All right, so I chose palette. I've got purple, orange, green, yellow, pink, kind of like a magenta, and then red right here. You can't really see. I also have the blue and the teal that were on my palette from earlier. I'm going to throw those in there as well. Okay. Once you're, oh my gosh, I'm getting filthy. Sorry, I have a little problem. Okay. All right, this is going to be very random where you place your color. So I just want you to pick a color. It can be any color. I think I'm going to go in with some yellow first. So I'm going to take my clean brush, make sure it's clean. A good way to check is make sure you have a white paper towel after you rinse your brush. Pinch your brush between the sides of the white paper towel. If your water is clear, then you're good to go. If you still have black on it, you need to re-rinse your brush. Okay, what did I say? Yellow? Okay. So I dipped my brush into yellow. And now I'm gonna go, I want to throw like a highlight feather. Oh, this is very bad paint. Right there, I think I wanna put some highlight feathers up here. And like I said, very random. You're just gonna kind of follow the lines that you've already created. Yellow feathers here. Giving our ostrich some character, making him real fun. Don't forget to toss some. Alrighty, and you can keep, like, I'm gonna leave that yellow for right now. I might decide I wanna go add some in a little bit. So when you switch colors, make sure you wipe your brush, rinse it, and then go in next. I'm gonna do orange next, so I actually do not need to rinse my brush because yellow and orange, I'm gonna build into a darker color. So I'm probably gonna do yellow, then orange, and then the magenta, and then the red. And then when I go to put in my blue, purple, and green, I'm going to rinse my brush. Right now I'm just going to wipe it and then dip into the orange. I am currently on magenta. It is a little bit darker. I'm gonna wipe my, if I can brighten it up with. We are going to go over our eyes with black, but I'm throwing in a little bit of color into the edges. You can if you want, you definitely do. I also think I want to throw a little bit of pink in my nose, so this is just going to highlight the shadow. So where we did this circle, you can pick a color and kind of throw a little bit on each edge of the circle on the side, so the right and left. I'm going to use pink and then probably a blue. I'm going to go back and want to run a little highlight bottom. Okay, I'm starting to get a little color happy over here. I am done with my colors. Now what I'm going to do is wipe my brush and then go back into my dark gray. I want to redefine. After I use my dark gray, I'm then going to go in. Also highlight the beaks. We're going to get a full highlight. Then we'll run a highlight all along that bottom. I'm looking at it, I also think I want to throw a little bit of pink into this gray that we did for. If you want to, like I said, I was pretty much done with color, but if you want, you can throw in some swooshes of color outside your canvas. Kind of looks like he's molting a little bit, but that is completely up to you. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave mine plain. But maybe one of the ladies painting over here might throw some swooshes in so we can show you what that looks like. Okay, we're on to the last steps. We are going to go back into the black. So we're going to darken those eyelashes and we're going to create his eyes. We're going to switch from our number 4. I think I want to use a flat brush for this, but you guys, if you're more comfortable using a round, you definitely can. I think I'm going to use the flat just because I like the way it holds paint better. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to show you dry brush real fast. We're going to dip it into the black, and then I want you to fill in this whole eye with black. We want the circles to be as even as we can make them, so good luck with that. Black is very unforgiving. So I would start small and then get bigger. I wouldn't start big because you can't take it back once you put it on there. You're going to have to wait for it to dry and then paint over it. But because we have done so many layers on this guy, that's going to be a difficult task. So I would just be a little bit careful when you're using the black. Oh, paint is so awful. Okay, I've got one eyeball. Let's see if I can match the second one. Oh, mine are not either. And it's a little crooked, but it's okay. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, once you've gotten your eyes to where you like them, love them, are satisfied with them, then I'm going to switch brushes. So I'm going to wipe off my flat brush, rinse it out, and then I'm going to go in with my number 4 round again because I want to create these eyelashes. Okay, so number 4 round. I'm going to dip in our black paint. And ostrich eyelashes are long, so we've already kind of created the shadow with the gray. So we're going to go about halfway. So split the eyeball in half, and then we're going to flick out the eyelashes from there. And you can make these eyelashes as long or as short as you would like. Now that I'm done with the black, I'm going to wipe my brush and rinse it. And it has to dry a little bit. And then I'm going to go in and highlight the sides of the eyes with white, and then we're going to put some shine, like so we're just going to put a little glare on the eyeball, and then we will be done. There's no color, so it's like just white. So I guess you would say a pupil, but okay, I'm going to go in with my white and that eye, but not do, my black is still a little wet. Then I'm going to go around this eyeball and do this. One's harder than I. Okay. The black's not dry yet. Just have to dry the black and put these 2 dots of white in there, and then we'll be complete. Okay, last step, we're gonna put these pupils. So we're gonna put small circles, and we're gonna put, let me turn my brush around. They're gonna be closer to the inside. So we're gonna put a circle about right here, and then one right here. And they're gonna be, let's think about the size of an M&M. Is about how big you want this pupil to be. Oh, let's try it. And this is what happens when you don't wait for your paint to dry. It looks gray now because I've mixed white and black. Okay, I lied. I ended up putting little feather things. Okay guys, that is it. Don't forget to sign your masterpiece at the bottom. Oh, and let us show you another example. So here's the blue, and then there's orange one. So it looks cute on any colored background. And then we have a pink one. Just so fun and fluffy. So everybody's is going to be different. They're adorable ostriches, and I hope you guys had fun with this one. Thank you.